Chapter 42 Forget-Me-Nots. Jared stormed away from the club. "Why the fuck would they fire me? I'm their best bouncer. So what if some people got roughed up a little bit more than was absolutely necessary? Made for better insurance that they wouldn't come back and cause more trouble." That's what he thought. He turned between buildings, his glowering stare scaring all. All but one, that is. His face met the pavement with a sudden crack, someone holding him there by the neck. He was so disoriented that he couldn't defend himself nor stop the stranger from trapping his hands behind his back. "What the hell? He has to be huge if he's taking away my hands that easily. I can't shake him off." His head was yanked up and to the side, making him groan in pain. "You're a big one. You'll do nicely." A stabbing sensation, like giant needles in his neck, made him want to thrash, but he couldn't. The other man wasn't even holding him anymore. Jared was completely incapacitated as his vision grew flatter and darker. We gathered on Christmas Eve, wanting to leave the day itself open for the two young vampires who had living families. Anton and Sila had decided they'd celebrate together by watching Christmas movies and baking. "What are you guys gonna make?" I asked. Silas supplied, "I wanted to try cookies, all kinds, but we're going to start with chocolate chip, then move on to the others after that." "A classic choice," Michael intoned, giving a nod of approval. "I definitely approve. Do you need a recipe? I've always loved my mom's cookies. I could ask her for the recipe tomorrow morning." "That's so sweet of you, Michael, but you needn't worry. We've got one already. I feel like everyone's tried those Toll House chocolate chip cookies, except for me. So we're going to follow that recipe." "Ooh, that one always tastes better from scratch," I supplied. "Good to know. Now I won't need to go out and get a tube of it just to be on the safe side," Anton joked. Silas slapped his arm, but I could tell it was all in good fun. "Come on, I want to open presents." Michael practically bounced like a kid on Christmas. I handed out my gifts first. Everyone opened them all at once. Silas swooned over her scarf, looping it around her neck. Anton laughed at his shirt, turning it to Sila when she asked what it said, making her laugh as well. Michael opened his box, a pair of cognac-colored leather gloves. He flexed his fingers inside them. "They're a perfect fit. Thanks, Drew." His smile made my insides melt. Sila had gifted me a sweater just like the one she was wearing. "Then we can match." She was adorable. I obliged her and went to the other room to put it on, coming back out to model it. Anton's gift was a painting. "I had someone try to recreate Celine's terrace based on how you described it." Celine was standing by the railing, the dark stones of the floor and railing painted a mix of browns and grays. Dark roses climbed one side, cascading over the top of the painting. The color was perfect, capturing the depth of those roses. Her black gown was long-sleeved and fitted through the top, then came out in an elegant A-line. She faced the moon, her skin fair in the light, her ebony hair long and straight down her back. She had one hand on the terrace, and although the artist creatively avoided painting a distinct face with her angles, the scene was fairly accurate representation of my dream. I could imagine her turning around and saying my name as I gazed at it. "Wow, Anton, this is so beautiful. I love it, thank you." I blew him a kiss, and he acted as if it knocked him over. This time I joined Sila in rolling her eyes at him, but I smiled the whole time. Michael said he left his gift for me back at the apartment by accident, and Anton booed him. I didn't mind. I could just open it when we got back. We stayed until the early morning hours. Being able to run on little sleep really had its advantages. As we got into our ride, he admitted that he left his gift for me behind on purpose. Now I was even more curious. We hurried into the building, snow starting to build up in areas that weren't salted. I stomped my feet, trying to shake the worst of the snow off the front entrance so I wouldn't track water through the building as badly. We used the elevator. Wet shoes plus stairs? Bad things all around. I unlocked the door, but something felt different. I opened the door, cautious. Then I realized I didn't hear the scratching of scrambling cat feet when I unlocked the door. I walked slowly to the kitchen, peering around the wall. Michael stayed by the front door, having recognized that something special was happening. Husker was crouched by his bowl. He gave me a low growl. "Hey, buddy," I drew out. "Look at you, so brave." I kept my voice calm. "Will you let me come in? I'll get you your favorite, beef bits and gravy." He didn't move, just kept his eyes locked on me as I slowly moved around him. I opened the can of cat food, scooping it out into his bowl before carefully setting down the bowl next to him. He kept his eyes on me as I slowly backed out of the kitchen. As soon as my left foot had left that threshold, he attacked his meal with gusto. I started to cry, so happy about this leap in progress. Christmas miracles are so cliché, until they happen to you. I was still sniffling from joy over Husker's progress when Michael stepped behind me with something hidden in his hand. I hadn't expected my heart to pivot so quickly. "Damn it, Husker. Way to outplay me, man," Michael muttered under his breath. I frowned and pulled back. "What was that?" Michael sighed and chuckled. I thought I could win Christmas, but he had to go and win before I could even play. "What? What are you talking about? Winning? Playing? You're being silly." He lowered his gaze, then met mine again. "Close your eyes, Drew." I scrunched my brows, skeptical. "Indulge me." I sighed, but obeyed anyway. "Hold out your hand." I did so, holding it out in front of me. I felt something cool and light touch my hand, then a barely heavier feeling as something dropped into my palm. "Open your eyes." I did. In my hand was a silver chain necklace with a cross on it, wrapped in flowers. Tiny blue flowers. "I thought you'd enjoy the irony of a vampire wearing a cross, but more than that, I wanted you to have something that can ground you, remind you of yourself. I picked this one because it reminded me of the crown you picked at the Ren Fair, with the little blue flowers." "Forget-me-nots." My voice was stunned. He looked perplexed. "Pardon?" I touched the tiny flowers and smiled. "Those little blue flowers, they're called forget-me-nots. They're one of my favorites." He hooked a finger under my chin, lifting my eyes to meet his gaze. "There's nothing forgettable about you." He stepped behind me, necklace in hand. He swept my hair to one side, and the skin that he touched trailed with goosebumps. He attached the necklace around my neck, pulling my hair out of the chain. He came around to the front. "Beautiful," he uttered, but his eyes weren't on my necklace. I grabbed him by the front of his shirt, stood on my tiptoes, and kissed him. His arms wrapped around me, one hand going to cradle the back of my head as he returned the kiss, the other pressing me to him. I opened my mouth and his tongue explored mine, twining, hot and eager. God, this was good. As his grip loosened, I wrapped my arms around his neck. He lifted me and my legs wrapped around him of their own accord, holding me in place. He walked until my spine touched the wall, firm and cool. Pinned between the wall and him, my chest burned like I'd forgotten what oxygen was for. His mouth released mine and he bit my neck just under my ear, sucking and licking. My eyes rolled back in my head, the ecstasy of this. My skin burned in the most pleasurable way as he touched me. I gasped, and he caught my mouth again, hungrily. He pulled back and held me to the wall with his hips, his arms removing his shirt. His hand dove up the back of my shirt, and the touch of his skin against mine drove me wild as he walked. Then the bed was under me, and he let me go. "Drew." My name sounded like a plea, and I searched his face. "Drew, you're amazing. It was as if he couldn't say what he wanted to. He scanned me as if to take me all in. Then his eyes searched mine, looking for an answer to his silent question. Heat rose to my face. As much as I wanted more, I wasn't quite ready. And he knew that. I touched a hand to his cheek, and he leaned into it, closing his eyes. I brushed my thumb along his swelling bottom lip. I put my hand under his chin, lifting his eyes to mine. "Will you stay until I fall asleep?" I asked quietly, not wanting to break the spell. As if I had released him from a stressor, he took a breath and exhaled. "Yes." I kicked him out of the room temporarily, donning flannel shorts and an oversized t-shirt. By the time I had returned from the bathroom after, he had turned down the covers for me. I crawled in and tucked the blankets to my chin, the necklace cool against my collarbone. "You can lay down if you'd like." He did so on top of the covers, resting on his elbow, his head in his hand. He looked down at me, brushing a hair away from my face. We shared no words. I wasn't sure whether I was scared to break the spell or if I genuinely didn't know what to say, but the quiet between us said everything. Fingering the tiny gems that made the flowers, I held the cross as I fell asleep.